And thank you, everybody. All right, let's go. We're going to rock and roll here. So we're going to talk about cookware transitions. Here's the thing you need to know. It starts with the number one rule. What's the number one rule? Every package, every client, every time. If you don't commit to it, it's really, really hard to make it work for you because you never really give yourself the necessary time to practice it in a way that results in you building the skills that you need to build and building them quickly and building momentum with those skills. So many people say to me, but Josh, I show stuff all the time and I'm not closing it all the time. So I feel like I'm wasting my time. So I just move on to the next customer. Well, just remember that just because they don't buy it now doesn't mean that they won't ever buy it. So worst case is that you get a wish list on file for people and who are interested and a specific time to follow up with them. Plus, when we're busy at a booth, we all know that the most valuable prospect at that time is the one standing in front of us who's already given us their credit card, who we're already writing up an order form, or the one who has a whole knife set and is wanting to see what's new. So let's talk about what we're going to talk about today. So number one, we're going to talk about the tools you got to have on hand, the tools that will help you sell more cookware and transition with your cookware properly. We're also going to talk about the transitions you need to know that you need to have. These are the transitions that help me inside of a script or an approach or whatever outline or whatever bullet points I'm following from start to finish. I'm going to just go over the transitions and share with you what I say, where I say it, when I say it, how I say it, and how I use the tools to help me transition. So let's talk about the tools first. So have your tools. Backdrops and branding, right? You need to show an environment and you need to subconsciously promote it. So have an environment that subconsciously promotes cookware because there's cookware in front of them, there's cookware around them. Make sure your backdrops and your branding are showing the cookware. Also, your cookware display. You gotta invest in the cookware display. Start with the samples. Get one piece, get 3 pieces, get the expansion set, whatever. Get eventually to the full legacy set. I invested in a legacy set last year, and within like my very first event, very first day, bam, sold a legacy set. The next day sold 2 more legacy sets. So that legacy set doubled, like I doubled my investment into that legacy set in 2 shifts, the first 2 shifts that I used it at. Stop only displaying cookware or showing cookware when you're at a booth where someone else has it or where you're able to use just a community set that exists. You're only working with it on display once in a while when you do this. And when you do, when you do work with it, you're only working with it once in a while, which means that you can't build momentum and you can't routinely practice and develop your skill sets the same way that you would if you had your own cookware on display that went with you everywhere that you went to, every show you went to. The small little market days, bam, cookware set on display. I'm selling cookware. I go to a home and garden show, I go to a mall, I go anywhere, there's always cookware with me because it's in my kit. It's part of my display. It's always with me. There are people now who are like, I want to work with Josh because he always has that cookware display on, or that cookware on display, and I sell more cookware when I have that cookware on display. And I'm like, just buy your own freaking cookware, right? Not because I don't want you to use it, but because I want you to actually have cookware with you all the time so you can get this stuff working with you. Another tool, your special sheets. Right? Whether you use a binder from, Brandon Duran, or you use, Dawood's binder, or you use the Vast Action sheets, whatever, just make sure you're using something. Okay, just so you know, our Vast Action sheets, we have full price versions, we have small discount versions, we've added multiple new ones, including all of the cookware sets standing alone on one page by themselves each, if you prefer what I call a choose close, where they choose their set and then you show the price in the sheet that has just that set. And we also have one that has the 3 sets together all on one page. If you prefer an options close, where you give them the option and you show them all the sets, or you price position, show them all the sets, and then you have them pick the option that they like best. So whether you do a choose close or you do an options close, either way, we have the special sheets that line up with those offers, right? So set up your station as well. Another tool, your station. Set up your station to keep everything within arm's reach. Thank you, Seth, for really hammering this into my mind. I kind of already knew it, and I sort of already did it. But Seth's the one that's like, dude, no matter where I go, no matter what, I will set up my station so that I have the full Cutco kitchen within an arm's reach of me, simply because whether I'm at a booth, a service event, a demo, like whatever, simply because I always, like just seeing it, having it within this far reach of me right here, makes it so I could hug the Cutco kitchen and I can see it in my peripheral, so I always remember to show everything, right? Make it a habit to show it all. Also, picture albums on your phone or your iPad. Set up a picture album now. And this, you want a picture album that shows people who have bought cookware, people holding the cookware, people smiling with the cookware, people excited that they bought the cookware. This gives you social proof, and I'll teach you how to use a picture album strategically in your transitions to help you sell more. Also, you want to have your video albums, right? So have a separate album that is just your cookware videos. I have a separate album on my phone, a separate album on my iPad, just my cookware pictures, just my cookware videos. So if I'm talking about cookware, I'm not sifting through pictures of people with flatware and knives. I'm not sifting through a bunch of videos. I'm not scrolling through 1,000 pictures from my last vacation. No, I have one album. I click the cookware album. Those are all my cookware pictures. I have one album. That's my cookware video album. I just click the video. That's my cookware video. I click that album. That's my cookware videos, right? Very easy and fast to access those tools and use those to your advantage to show how awesome the cookware works and to show all the people that are investing in cookware already. So now let's talk about transitions, right? That's the second thing. You got to know your transitions. So whatever it takes, you need to be in a place where you know everything you need to know about the products, features, and benefits. So everything about all the different pieces and their features and benefits, all the different sets and their features and benefits, and the overall cookware concept, program, and their features and benefits, right? So that you also need to know about the client's struggles and challenges. What are clients' hopes and dreams? You need to know those things too. You also need to know about how Cutco solves those challenges, meets those needs, and creates the ideal experience, plus the objections that people have and how to confidently and comfortably handle those objections. I'm not going to teach that stuff today. It's a concept. You know you need to know it. You know where the resources and tools are. There's already a ton of them that exist. The question is, how often are you engaging with that, and are you holding yourself to the highest standard of learning that information and getting that information working? We're going to talk about transitions today. We're not going to talk about the script you need to sell to create value in the cookware, or to, you know, explain the features and benefits, or explain the names and uses, or to handle the objection. You know, the best thing you can do there is outline a master's approach into bullet points on a full sheet of paper and tape it on the back of the ultimate block so it's right in front of you, so it's top of mind. You're creating top of mind awareness. You're reminding yourself to do it. And I'll even post a link in the chat box right now here on Zoom to the latest interview I did recently with Kareem El-Tawanzi about how he is selling so much cookware, #1 guy in the nation, and he didn't talk about how he does the full-blown cookware demo presentation at a cookware booth. He talked about, here's literally how I sell cookware when I'm not doing that, and I sell it quickly and I sell it effectively, and here's how I build value, and here's how I handle objections, all that sort of stuff. So the first transition that you have to make is into introducing the cookware, right? So we got to start by transitioning to introducing the cookware. By the way, I already posted a link in the chat to the handout for today's talk with all these notes and all these transitions all scripted out for you. So you already have the tool in your hands right now if you just go download it using the link in the chat box. So I've been practicing what Curtis taught us recently. I'm running my sale promotion. I've sold about 15 grand just in like 3 days of working over the phone. I've been using what Curtis taught us, using it to introduce packages and programs, and it's working great. So Curtis melted our faces last week. Well, here's what I say for transitioning into cookware. When you introduce it, use a powered question like this, which for me is a combination of what I've picked up from Kareem and Curtis. So Mrs. Jones, just so you know, our cookware program is the most important life-changing product that Cutco makes. Would you like to see it? Right? It's the most important life-changing product Cutco makes. Would you like to see it? Or if they've already shown interest in it first by saying something like, oh, I didn't know Cutco makes cookware, or they go over and grab it and they're like, what's this, right? That's where you say, oh, yes, our cookware program is the most important life-changing product that Cutco makes. Would you like me to tell you more about it really quick while you're here, right? So either way, it works. Either you're leading them into the conversation or they're starting the conversation for you. Same way you use the same transition, just tweaked differently, right? Both of those questions are yes questions. If they have any interest, people either want to hear about it or they don't want to hear about it. A yes equals you nail the approach. You do a badass demo, you nail the approach, and then you move into closing and everything else. A no equals you pivot. You pivot into something else, just like Matt talked about last week, right? You pivot into a different program, flatware, accessories, family program, gifts, business gifts, whatever, right? So once you've transitioned into introducing it, then you have to transition into demoing it, right? So that's the next thing. Now use a power intro combined with imagine if statements. You know, it's funny how in Chelsea's sets message, she talked about, she uses an imagine if statement. If you don't know to look for these things or listen for these things, you wouldn't have noticed it because of very subtle statements she used in her power intro for her set. And Seth just did it as well with upgrades, right? You always want to get people imagining their ideal future, imagining their dream Cutco kitchen, right? So, hey, just so you know, what our clients are always telling us they love about the cookware is that it's easy to use, it's easy to clean, and it lasts forever. Can you imagine what it would be like to have one set of cookware that you're confident will last you the rest of your life and you actually use and appreciate every single day? Let me show you why our clients love Cutco cookware. Right? And then you do the demo, you do the features and benefits. You know, when I do the demo, I use even heating is what, like when it comes to easy to use, even heating is like saves time. Metal tools are easier to use than plastic tools because metal tools are thinner. You can get under stuff without pushing it around. Plastic tools are thick because they have to be, plus they melt and they don't last. They bend, they break. You can't pick up heavy shit with them. It just sucks, right? So when it comes to easy to clean, it's easy to clean because the vapor seal system makes it so that the pan stays wet inside so nothing sticks and burns. You can put them in the dishwasher. That's way easier if you like using a dishwasher, right? Surgical stainless steel makes it so that you can use scrubbers on it and scratchy pads and it's not going to hurt it. Show that this is where I actually introduce like the picture album to show how easy it is to clean stuff. And I'll teach you, like, basically, I'll teach you a little bit later how I use the picture album to transition into that conversation. Also, forever guarantee, right? Forever, it's best in class materials. We use 5-ply construction. We have the best warranty in the industry. This is made to last for generations. And like Seth just shared when he's talking about upgrades, the power of using stories to sell. When you're doing features and benefits and you're transitioning through easy to use, easy to clean, last forever, well, this is where you have the ability to use third-party stories from your clients, from yourself, from your family, from your friends to introduce these concepts and help them relate to those concepts, because through stories, people naturally want to have that same experience. So the last thing is when you're actually demoing, right? Hand them large pieces while you're sharing this information. I'm handing over the stock pot. I'm handing over the wok. I'm handing over the Dutch oven. I'm handing over the 11.5-inch skillet. Watch their reaction when you hand these pieces over. It's either a reaction of like, wow, or it's a reaction of, no big deal, right? And that informs me if I hand it to them and they're like they're not excited about it and they set it down right away, I'll just stop and I'll ask like, hey, what do you think of that? And they're like, oh, it's just so heavy and blah, blah, blah. Now I can build value in heavy and see if they're open to that. And if they're not, well, then I'm going to pivot away because I don't want to waste their time showing them cookware that's really heavy when they don't want heavy cookware, right? Go into a different program, different package. But what we're really looking for is like when you cut the leather and they're like, holy crap, that's amazing. You're like, yes, that's the wow demo. The wow demo with the cookware is the videos. But before that, it's handing them the heavy pieces, getting them to feel the cookware and be like, wow, this is amazing. This is quality. This is high end. This is incredible, right? Now you've got to transition into building value in you. Once you've done a great demo, now it's all about you. It's all about how you go above and beyond to serve them at the highest level to make sure they get the miles and the use out of this investment. So what I say is plus. For my clients, I'm super committed to making sure that you get the most out of it, because when you're investing into a world-class set like this that's going to last the rest of your life, that's what you want, right? You want to get the most use out of it, right? Yeah, exactly. So I make sure you get recipes and videos that teach you how to use it, because I had to figure this all out on my own as a broke college kid, and I realized that most people are never taught how to use their pans. So if they run into a snag or they get stuck, they don't know what to do. Right? That's why I send you multiple recipes. That's why I send you some videos to check out. And the videos are literally 5 to 10 minutes long. And I'm walking you through step by step so you can cook along with me. And I also share with you the basic rules that you need to know to be on top of it and like get the most use out of this stuff. So we go through that. 4 rules. Preheat for meat. Medium to low is all you need to know. Cover and cook, but don't look. And Mike Dowwood's wonderful line, if you burn it, don't return it. Then the next thing you have to do is transition into picture closing and then transition into normal closing. So here's picture closing. I'm going to race through this. Picture close. I learned this from Mike Dowwood. Thank you, buddy. You're awesome. Help me close a ton of cookware. I position it personally like this. The album is organized with customers purchasing, then something once in a while to show, like some picture once in a while to show something like cleaning, a cleaning issue, a before and after cleaning picture, or a guarantee issue, like a broken handle and a brand new handle, or something like that. Then right before closing, I say something like, oh, the great thing about this is that, you know, whatever, da, 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 da. Then I go to my album and I start scrolling through the pictures to find one of the before and after cookware cleaning pictures, right? And so in that moment, what I'm doing is I'm saying, oh, and the great thing about this is that, like, you know, let me go ahead and show you really quick, like how easy this is to clean. Oh, you know, by the way, and I'm scrolling through pictures of people holding their sets of cookware. And I'm like, by the way, oh yeah, these are all people who have bought their cookware sets this year or this fair or whatever. Hang on just a second, I'll get to that picture. And what I'm doing is I'm strategically scrolling through social proof pictures of people who have bought cookware to find the before and after cleaning pictures, right? But in doing that, I'm not having to point out like, oh yeah, and look at all these awesome people who bought this because I'm trying to sell you this. No, it's like a side, like, oh, by the way, like, oh yeah, these are all people who bought this. Hang on, let me find that picture. Scroll, 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 scroll. We've been so busy with cookware. Scroll, 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 scroll. Oh yeah, there you go. So see this? That's where I burnt something. I actually show them Roger and Chelsea's burnt up, nasty looking pan, the before and the after picture. And then I show them a 2 years later how Roger used my pan last year at the fair and how he's way better at cooking with it now because it's not as bad. And then the after picture of that. And they're like, wow, that's amazing. I'm like, I know, it's so easy to clean, right? We've all done that. So, you know, so the idea is have a few photos placed throughout the entire album and then scroll through people buying it, be real nonchalant about pointing that out. And then you're really looking for the before and afters. So of the cleaning pictures, then transition to closing, right? That's the next point, transition to closing. So by this point, if you've done a good job in your demo, they've either asked a buying question by now, most people do, or you just need to ask the next leading question that moves you forward into the conversation. So the buying question, go into showing packages and price positioning. If they're asking you a buying question, that's your signal wherever you're at in the demo, move into closing, like showing packages and price positioning. The transition question, if you need it, is, so would you like me to take a quick minute just to show you the different packages and the pricing that we offer so that you can decide if this program is something you'd like to utilize today or in the future, right? And I'm always giving them the out, right? The out is what makes them feel more comfortable saying yes, no, because when I say whether you'd like to utilize this today or in the future, they're going, oh, so I can still do this in the future, so I'm not necessarily buying it today. But I know if they're showing interest, I'm going to do my job. I'm going to get in there. If they're showing interest all the way through closing and pricing and they're answering all the questions, I'm going to get that shit closed. But I'm fine. So I'm fine with telling them or planting the seed for the future now because I know I have the ability to get that closed even if they're like in the future is what gets them to say yes right now. Okay, cool. So great. Just so you know, there's 10 different brands of waterless cookware. 9 are made in the same town in Wisconsin. 8 are made in the same factory. They're all basically the same. Right? Show price comparison, price position Cutco is the same quality as everybody else, but the lowest price of all the low moisture cookware. So here's how I say it. Because we believe our clients shouldn't have to spend a ton of money just for a name, right? That's how I price position our price being the best. Not because it's any lower quality. Hey, Cutco's the same quality as everybody else, but what's great is we're actually the lowest price in the industry because we believe our clients shouldn't have to spend a ton of money just for a brand name. Right? And then they go, yeah. And I'm like, I know, exactly, right? So whether you do it with knives or not, it's good practice to price compare with cookware in my experience because there are other brands just like us. And the customer can literally walk around the corner and see them, right? So you can mitigate the risk of them feeling confused, uncertain, or having buyer's remorse or whatever by making sure to help them understand how pricing works with cookware. Here's another line I say. And what I love about cookware is that we're the best priced out of the waterless brands. In fact, you can get a full set of Cutco cookware that will last forever and has the best warranty in the industry for basically the same price you'd pay for a full set of all-clad out in stores. Except with ours, it'll last longer, gives you the benefits of low moisture cooking, and is American made and guaranteed forever. So you make that connection. Most people have been to Williams-Sonoma or Pottery Barn. They've seen all-clad cookware. They've considered buying it. So when you bring that up and you connect with that, bam, we're more likely to be open to looking at Cutco today because you're making these connections for people. So if you're considering this today, I'd be happy to tell you about what I'm doing for my clients who choose to utilize the cookware program while they're here at the fair. Would you like to hear about that? Now, this is where you go into the incentives that you do to make your customers feel special, to stack the value, and to create urgency, share your goals, give them a reason to buy today. Then you just go into your confirmation questions and do what it takes to find the deal that you can close with them right now. So to wrap it up, whatever you have to do, build your confidence. Remember, not everyone will be interested, and that's okay. Remember, not everyone who is interested will bite right now, and that's okay too. Remember that anyone who shows interest in a potential deal in the future, when you keep good notes and actually follow up with them, will actually buy it down the road. I'm working on 3 cookware deals right now that are people that told me at the fair or this spring that they wanted to get cookware, but I just need to follow up them later. And remember, enthusiasm sells. Use your Cutco. This helps both with your confidence and your comfort. Do the work. You have to study. You have to work this stuff. You have to practice it. In the end, you got to do the work. The best part is you all have a number of days between now and the fair to get this working for you. It's the Super Bowl for our division. It's the Super Bowl for our team. So what will you do between now and then? How will you invest your dollars to set you up for profitability? How will you invest your time to set yourself up to do this consistently and do it confidently with every customer you talk to? That's what I got for you.